Young and Restless spoilers. Will the battle between Jack and Markham end in tragedy? For weeks, Jack and Kyle Abbott have been desperately searching for Diane, who remains trapped under the influence of the unstable Patty Williams and the manipulative Dr. Lawrence Markham. What began as a carefully constructed rescue mission has now collapsed into absolute chaos. Jack believed he could outsmart Patty through patience and strategy, even going so far as to fake romantic feelings in hopes of gaining her trust. It was a dangerous gamble, but for a moment, it seemed like it might work. Then everything fell apart. When Patty overheard Jack and Kyle discussing their plan, she immediately realized she had been deceived. Feeling humiliated and betrayed, she alerted Dr. Markham, and together they quickly moved Diane to a new location. The Abbott family lost their strongest lead overnight. Jack believed he could outsmart Patty through patience and strategy, even going so far as to fake romantic feelings in hopes of gaining her trust. It was a dangerous gamble, but for a moment, it seemed like it might work. Then everything fell apart. When Patty overheard Jack and Kyle discussing their plan, she immediately realized she had been deceived. Feeling humiliated and betrayed, she alerted Dr. Markham, and together they quickly moved Diane to a new location. The Abbott family lost their strongest lead overnight. The plan that was doomed from the start. Let's be honest, Jack's plan was never going to work. Patty Williams has been obsessed with Jack for decades. She has terrorized his family, shot Victor Newman, and been institutionalized multiple times. A woman that unhinged isn't going to be fooled by a little fake affection. Yet Jack persisted, even as Kyle attempted his own reckless rescue mission. The younger Abbott broke into Markham's home, only to find himself trapped with Diane as the doctor returned unexpectedly. Their escape was messy, desperate, and ultimately triggered the violence that followed. When Kyle and Diane finally made it back to the Abbott mansion on July 3, they walked into a nightmare. Jack lay bleeding on the dining room floor, stabbed by Patty in a fit of jealous rage. The tragedy unfolds as of the week of July 6. Jack remains hospitalized after emergency surgery. His family gathers at his bedside, praying for him to wake up. Diane, who just escaped captivity, now finds herself in an interrogation room, fighting criminal charges. Patty has spun a story that Diane attacked Jack in a jealous rage. Dr. Markham is backing up her version of events. The evidence, Diane's blood-covered clothing, her admitted drugging of Markham to escape, is stacking up against her. Michael Baldwin believes Diane is innocent, but he warns that she may not even be granted bail due to the seriousness of the charges. The woman who was a victim just days ago is now being treated as the perpetrator. What happens when Jack wakes up? Everything hinges on Jack regaining consciousness. He is the only person who knows exactly what happened inside the Abbott house that night. If he wakes up and identifies Patty as his attacker, her carefully constructed story falls apart in an instant. Patty knows this. She's terrified of what will happen when Jack opens his eyes. Dr. Markham is already distancing himself from Patty, trying to blame her for the stabbing that was never part of their plan. The cracks are showing. Their alliance, built on obsession and manipulation, is crumbling under the weight of real consequences. Could this end in tragedy? The question on every fan's mind. Will Jack survive? There's no indication that Peter Bergman is leaving the show, so we can assume Jack will pull through. But the emotional toll on his family will be devastating. Tracy is overwhelmed with guilt, convinced she never should have left Jack alone with Patty. Kyle is torn between supporting his mother and fearing for his father's life. Diane is fighting for her freedom while her husband lies in a hospital bed. Ashley Abbott is reportedly flying home on July 10 to check on her brother and do some serious digging of her own. Her arrival could be the key to clearing Diane's name and exposing Patty's lies. Patty's desperate gambit. What makes Patty so dangerous isn't just her instability, it's her unpredictability. When she realized Jack had betrayed her, she didn't just walk away. She stabbed him and then cradled him, promising they would be together forever in the afterlife. That kind of twisted devotion doesn't disappear overnight. Even if Jack wakes up and identifies Patty, she's shown she's willing to go to extreme lengths to get what she wants. The possibility of her hurting someone else, Victor Newman, who brought her to Genoa City, or even Jack's children, remains terrifyingly real.